Refueling truck is on its way. Please boarding requested. Fuel truck is in position.
Hello to anyone that is joining us here in sunny Ibiza. We're going to be taking British Airways flight. So Speedbird 2681 from Ibiza here at ramp 13 through to Gatwick to the South Terminal. So we're just literally about to start boarding. The fuel truck is here. Let's see, we'll have a quick walk around.
Passengers bus is coming.
Maysbourne. Look, I'm still getting used to using this. Look at the conditions of the other side of the carriage. Good. Conditions of the aircraft in total.
Passengers boarding starting.
Good. We're going to come down, check the doors here. We'll just go through the hatch. Check the engine. I'm still getting used to a drone. I used to be on Prepared 3D, so you have to bear with me. Fan blades look good. Looking back, nothing's going on. Got the fuel truck in position. We're fueling now. No leaks under the engine. What's the does anyone know how to get this so it's not too the leading edge of the plane? Is looking good. Hello. Check. Obviously we've got our nav lights on, which we have. Is ideal. So that's all on. Static discharge probes are all good. Rear of the edge is good. So I'm flying the Phoenix A320 and the Golf Mike India Delta Sierra.
Passengers bus is coming.
And we're due to fly out of here. There we go. That's all good. APU vent's good. APU exhaust good. Static discharge of the rudder's good. Oop. Tail strike is good. Have a look at the trailing edge of the wings. And the discharge points. Oh, I've got to get really good with this drone, haven't I?
Passengers boarding starting.
Here come the passengers. The port side of the aircraft, the wings are good. Leading edge, just good to me. And welcome aboard to our lovely passengers here. So yeah, they're just returning from their holidays. Number 1 engine. Looks good. Okay, so see if we can follow the passengers up. First time I've tried to do this, so bear with me. Obviously, welcome aboard. Pilot will be stood there. Welcome aboard. Go to the front. There we go. You know, I'd love them to stay animated during the cabin. That would be really, really good. So. There you are. G.I. Jade, welcome aboard. Yeah, here we go. So, oh, he looks angry. He looks an angry man. Whoa, what's just happened there? There we go. Hello. Oh, hello. That's where we want to be. That's where we want to be. That's okay for me. Might have to desensitize the controller maybe. I don't know if anyone's got any tips. Please let me know. Sorry about that, just had to turn my dog off in the background. So here we come. Wow, she's on a mission. Look at her go. He looks like that fella off the Insidious last keys, doesn't he? Here he comes. Oh yeah, duck under, mate, well done. And a little one all by herself. Okay, well, so yes, so that is the passengers boarded, as we can see. Does it automatically save your view? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's the passengers boarded. Happy days. We're going to jump in the cockpit, see how we're getting on. Flight plan's already done because of the stream. I did it ahead of time. I don't know where the radar works, which is a shame. Okay, so I'm going to jump onto my track IR for a minute, just get myself set up. Wow, what's going on here? I do
Passengers
not know what's
bus is
going
coming.
on with my track IR. That's okay. So I've got everything set ready to go so far. We're going to have VHF2 as well, so I could change it where requested by Merlin's, the A cars that we use. We're all good, you know. Right, I've got a horrible tilt on my give me 2 seconds. I just need to adjust this, so settings, camera. That's better. That's okay. Okay.
Passengers boarding starting.
Ah, miles better. So there you go. They're all aligned. All the pre-checks, pre-flight checks have been done up to British Airways virtual standards. Are we fueled? Yes, we are. So seatbelts now could go on. Nav lights are on, strobe is in auto, ready to go on everything else. Integrals have been turned up. I've already done the tests. I've tested my oxygen, first officer's oxygen. Yeah, so now we're just waiting for the passengers to come on board, as we've seen outside. I've already done the flight plan, like I said, because of streaming. Everything is set to what I want for now. Oh, we're in auto, that can go ahead. It doesn't really matter. ATC can go up a little bit, although we're not on a network today because it's the first time we're streaming, so we're just checking it out. So we could run through what we've already done while we're boarding. So our pre-flight consisted of cockpit preparation, so we checked the aircraft doors, the thrust levers were to idle, the flaps were retracted, spoilers were retracted, engine 1 and 2 master switches are to off, engine mode selector is to normal, weather radar off, windshield is off, gear is down, 3 greens wipers are off, no need to use them in sunny Spain. So battery 1 and 2 are on, we could test them, turn off battery 1. Watch the drops, turn it back on, watch the rise, do the same for battery 2, turn it off, then watch the rise. Battery test is complete. AP fire test, we've already done, let's do it again anyway, it's good to do it because we're going to be starting that up pretty soon. And it's enunciated and on the UFAS. Also enunciated, which is correct. Cockpit lights are as required. Not planning on using any floods during the trip. Weather looks good all the way through. Instrument display brightness has been done for me, so I'm quite happy with that. Audio panel to ground is in and connected with GSX. So we've done our diffs rep, which is our data init page, our flight plan. All we got to the left to do is our performance. The route's been checked. Secondary flight plan's been done. So ECAM doors, well, doors are open because we're loaded. Oxygen has been set through, crew oxygen is on, passenger is supplied auto as normal. So that's been done. And circuit breakers are all good, we checked them as part of the before boarded. Cockpit prep flow pattern, well, we've done that. Crew supply is on, CVR has been tested. Evac is to captain only, which it is. Adairs 1, 2, 3 are auto nav and all aligned, which they are. Exterior lights, nav logo, we're on system 1, it doesn't matter which system you use. Strobe is to auto. Exterior lights are correct. Seatbelt sides are on and auto and armed. Emergency exit lights, like I said, enunciation lights, we've already tested them. We'll test them again. Let's put that on there. So enunciation lights looking good throughout. Little peanuts there, we can see them on the MCDUs. All the way down, so that's good. So it's good to recheck, make sure no lamps have gone out during our trials. We've already done the ECAM page, we've done the battery 1 and 2 to off and back on. Fuel pumps are all in auto and in the correct state or off. Engine 1 and 2 fire test. So let's perform engine 1 fire test. And engine 2 fire test. All good there. Okay, audio switching is to normal. Cargo smoke test we've already performed, that's over there. Cargo heat, it's as required, it's to normal and analog. Cockpit preparation, analog instruments have been checked, anti-skid is set to on until our pushback, which is correct. Our UTC at time is correct. Sorry, I just went out there. So radios have been set up. We're set up on 122.8 and we have everything set up as we want to have it set up. Weather mode, we selected weather and turbulence, WX and T, which is here. I've selected to my side, but we're not switched on yet. Gravity door extension, check. We're all good on there, so check that. Parking brakes off and on. So we'll just cycle the parking brakes, check the accumulator, and the pressure is good there, off and back on. Parking brakes have been cycled. So we already know engine masters 1 and 2 are off. Ignition selector is to normal. ATC code has been put into 2000. We're in auto. TCAS is to standby. Thrust leaders are to idle. Panel switching. We're all normal on the panel switching. I've got the ranges to what we want. So boarding is actually complete.
Cabin crew, boarding is now complete. Any remaining ground crew, please leave the aircraft.
So that's good. So I'm going to send that to the MCDU, and also let's sync weather final, sync load sheet final. We're going to have packs on takeoff. Let's calculate that. I will send that to the MCDU too. So that's all done there. We'll just verify the final load sheet. We'll accept that. Thank you very much. Let's put you back on a flight plan for now. We're going to be starting up the APU in a couple of times. Let's just check everything's gone through. Everything has gone through. Performance page is there and correct. So we've checked here. We've got our flight plan. Our RADNAV page is set. Our progress page has come up. Performance is indicated. Fuel prediction is done. A secondary flight plan is copied and on the active. So MCDUs are set and ready to go. Double check. We're now at QNH 1018. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start up the APU. Once we start up the APU, then we can push back after 3 minutes. Still checking through our checklist though. IFR clearance has already been received. We're all good to go there. Flapper is now open, so we could hit the start. Timer goes on for 3 minutes for the bleed. Okay, barrel pressure HPA QNH is set. QNH 1018 1, 2, 3 times. We're reading roughly 50 feet, which is correct. Flight directors 1 and 2 are on. Flight director left, flight director right is on and set. EFIS constraint arc 10, correct. EFIS nav aids VOR. Well, we don't need VOR because we're running on. We're not doing any VOR navigation. FC flight computer unit as required. So yeah, there we are. We're set in. 36,000 feet. There's no climb restrictions here, and everything else is in managed mode. We have our speed dot and headed dot and our altitude dot. So basically, we have a height, where we're going, and how fast we're going. All 3 dots are present and correct. Takeoff, departure briefing. So we'll be taking off on the MPAT 3 Foxtrot. It's a straightforward departure. So we'll just go through that. So we can bring that up on the tablet for you. Pizza. Just zoom in here. Departure MPAT 3 Foxtrot is this one. So there's the MPAT 3 Foxtrot. So we're taking off on a heading of 075 degrees initially. Headed out to India Bravo 500, and we can't go above 205 knots, which is also cross-checked and in the MCDU. If you check on the flight plan page, it is here 205. We cannot go above that. From India Bravo 500, we're going slight left to 041 degrees. and headed up this track here to Empher without breaking 250 knots, and we have to be above flight level 100, which is 10,000 feet at Empher. With the distance, that's going to be easy, even with a fully loaded aircraft. We've got 160 souls on board. So in the event of an emergency before takeoff, so anything from now until lining up for the runway, if anything comes up with a red caution or flashing alarms, we will cancel and come straight back to parking or request a new stand. From lining up on the runway, anything before V1, I'll only stop for fire, famines and floods. So anything detrimental or extreme hazardous to the takeoff and roll of the aircraft. MSA in the area is 2,800 feet, so in the event of a loss of engines we will climb to 3,000 feet and we'll go into a holding pattern or be vectored. So that is the emergencies I foresee. There's no weather threat, no security threats. Aircraft is fired. I can get the APU bleed on now, so let's ditch that. APU bleed could come on. External power could go off. Let's get her ready for pushback. Beacon is now on. Rejected takeoff. Like I said, anything over V1 I will shout stop. I will bring the thrust levels back to idle or back to reverse depending on the situation on why we rejected takeoff.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Brilliant. So anything after V1 to rotate, we'll carry on with the rotation as we are quite heavy and we're probably not going to stop, so well, we won't in time. We'll carry on and we'll go to the same as the engines brief it.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Thank you very much. So our final load sheet is correct. We've already verified that as the MCDCU. Departure, we're set up on the MPAF 3 Foxtrot. Departure. Init B page is completed and set up. Perf to takeoff page, that's what I've got down here. I'll taxi out of here. We're literally going to push back nose left, come out onto Tango, all the way down onto Tango to Echo 10, and we'll take the full length. Okay, so final checks before start. Gear pins and covers are removed. Fuel quantity is checked, balanced and present, 9.5 tons. Nose left will go.
Release parking brakes, please.
Signs are on auto armed. Adheres is all set to nav and we've got a good alignment. Barrel ref is set on 3. Parking brakes off.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
APU is on, APU master is on, APU bleed is on. Okay,
Cabin crew,
starting.
arm doors and cross-check.
We're going to start number 2 first. Ignition to norm. Starting 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please observe the cabin crew member closest to you as we are about to demonstrate the safety features of our Airbus A320 aircraft. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our Airbus A320. Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks,
Number 2 looks good.
life jackets, and the brace position, which you must adopt if you hear
Pressure valve
brace,
shut.
brace.
Flows are good.
There are
Vibration
8
is nominal.
emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out.
Engine stabilizing.
Please be aware that your nearest usable exit
Engine
may
is
be behind
available.
you. Emergency
114,
lighting will guide
as
you to
expected.
an exit.
Reset parking brakes.
In an emergency, leave
Waiting
All
your
baggage on
confirmation
board.
for a wooden
Your
start.
seatbelt is
Starting
fastened,
one.
adjusted and released as shown. It must be fastened whenever
Just
the
tell
seatbelt
GSX we're
signs
good
are
start,
on.
6 start disconnected.
Recommend
Cockpit to
keep
ground.
them fastened
We have a good
at
engine
all
start.
times.
You can disconnect.
The air supply
Un
fails,
login here.
masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put
Engine
the
1
mask
kicking
over
off.
your nose and
Push
mouth.
back timer
and
has been
breathe normally.
set.
Hold the mask in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat. Remove from the pouch and put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate the life jacket inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate it by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow
Contact
into this
disconnected.
tube.
Bypass
There
pin
is a
removed.
light and whistle for attracting attention.
That's seen.
The
Left
cabin
is
crew
clear.
can
Right is clear.
It's for children.
Check right.
Your tray table must
Correct.
now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open.
Engine 1
and
is
seatbelt fastened.
available.
Further
good engine
information
start on
regarding your
both.
safety on board can
Well,
be found in
as
the in-flight
expected.
magazine.
Auto
We hope
brake
you
to
have a great
maximum.
flight.
Ground spoilers to arms. Flap 3. Oof. Flap 3 takeoff. Flap 3 selected there. There he is. And we're going down 2. Flight control page. I've never done a flap 3 takeoff in this aircraft before. Let's hope it goes right. Full left. Neutral. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Neutral. Full down. Neutral. And rudders. Rudder left. Neutral. Rudder right. And neutral. And we'll swing it through another couple of times. Sometimes it gets stuck. Okay, flight controls are free and correct. Rudder trim set to 0. AP bleed could come off. AP master could come off. Taxi lights could go on. Runway turn off lights could go on. Aero panel is set and normal. FCU is set and normal. So basically we're going to come out here and taxi down through Golf 1 onto Tango and as briefed. Okay, so we'll do a quick takeoff. Config chest, everything's good. We're ready to go. Wow. Let's experience this one. Okay, ready to parking brakes. Let's get going. We're ready for taxi and cleared. There's no ATC to stop us. Just going to check the brakes. Going to thrust on the aircraft. Goodbye, Ibiza. Checking brakes. Brakes are good. There's a Golf 1 exit. Which is here.
Cabin crew, seats for takeoff.
Clear left. Clear rights.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you. Take your seats for takeoff, please. Okay, aircraft is good. Back to VHF. aircraft feels good. Taxi and auto brake is to maximum. We have the timers running where the radar is on. Takeoff config is tested and no blue. Cabin is ready and secure. Engine mode selector is back to the normal position. We have ground or spoilers arm, trimmed down 2 and flaps 3 according to the Fenix calculator. So we'll see how that goes. Slide bid tables are stowed. Taxi checklist flight controls have been checked. Flap settings 3. Radar WPS WXT and are on auto gain, auto pitch. Engine mode selectors are to normal. ACAM memo checked, no blue. Before takeoff to the line then. Before takeoff to the line, takeoff runway has been confirmed, runway 06 here in Ibiza. Path 3 Foxtrot departure. Approach path is clear, looks clear. Radar 1 is clear and 2 is clear. Brake fans didn't need the mod, they're already off. Cabin is ready and we have been advised, so that's good. TCAS TARA, we're in auto, so TA only is enunciated, which is correct. Packs are on for takeoff. Line up checklist. Takeoff runway. Confirmed 06. We have this, we're taking the full length as briefed. 06 as side posted and holding point Charlie. I can make set for a minute. I can make set. TCAS TARA, and we're in both, and we're above, ready for the climb, and enunciated 1 and 2. Packs, we'll leave the packs on, they're fine, everything else is as normal. So we've got permission to take off, no incoming traffic. Let's go ahead and taxi to take off, and runway turn off lights and wing lights, all lights are on and ready. Roll up to light up. Okay, coming onto the runway and stopwatch start. And we are lining up sterilized cockpit now till 10,000 feet. Wow, that was me, my mistake on the rudder pedals there. Holding the aircraft on the tow brakes, stabilized to 50%. 50% for a set. Pitch down. Stabilized, tow brake released, man flex, SRS and runway enunciated my side. Speed alive. Slight deviation, correcting. It's 80 knots. Back pressure coming back, 100 knots. Slight crosswind. 120. V1 and rotate. Positive rate gear up. Yes. I don't know why the Fenix is doing that. Flaps 2. anyone knows why it's doing that, I'd quite like to know. Leave it to climb. Autopilot 1 on. Runway turn off lights on and taxi turn off lights are off. Coming up, flaps 1. Ground spoilers disarmed. Speed check flaps up. Goodbye, lovely Ibiza. Comes to that first restriction of India Bravo 500.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened whilst the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes. In just a few
After
moments,
takeoff.
we will commence our
Gears
in-flight
up,
service,
indicator up,
offering
no
you
green.
the chance to choose from our fresh
Thrust
selection of
reduction has
vehicles
been
today.
set. Levers are into the
Details can
climb
be found
and we're in
the
manage
flight
mode.
brochure. You can also purchase a
Autopilot
selection
1
of hot
is armed
beverages
on
together with
priority.
drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept all major credit and debit cards. If we can be of any further assistance, just
Packs
ask
are
us
on
as we join you
and
in the cabin
recycled.
shortly.
Flaps are up, spoilers are disarmed. Autopilot is on, nose wheel light is off. And runway turn off lights are off. So after takeoff checks are correct. And let's go to standard Barrow. Standard on 1. Standard on 2. Standard on 3. Passing 6,500 feet. Now. Check 1, check 2, check 3 is correct. We're now in the cruise phase of the flight. So looking at the, it's the climb part of the flight. Coming up to that sweeping left turn, 41 into 5 degrees into 355 degrees left turn towards Empa. We're circling back around the beautiful Isle of Ibiza down there. Okay, MCDU, Perth climb. I've got Perth climb. You've got flight plan. Barrow, we're at trans altitude, has been set and verified, passing 8,000 now. Above 10,000 checklists. We'll hold off just for now. Okay, 10,000 checklist. Landing lights are off and now retracted. Wing lights can go off. Seatbelt signs as required. We're going to keep seatbelt signs until this final turn. Aircraft is stable after the turn. We'll take the seatbelt signs off. EFIS. We're now going to airport. We're past the restriction of 10,000, so we're all good to go there. And I'm selecting mine. You keep yours on constraint. Weather radar mode is north and engaged. No weather, no obvious signs of weather either. As we look on the plan, this is us here, just coming up now to the Empire, to the end of the SID, so the standard insurance departure from Ibiza, runway 06. Climb checklist is complete and correct. So, we're now in our cruise flight, going up to our cruise in altitude. Well, this British Airways flight from Ibiza to Gatwick with a call sign of Speedbird 2681. All the parameters are good and look normal, and we'll go through a bit more on the flights. If you have anything you want to ask me or questions, please put it in the chats, comments, because it gets pretty boring talking to yourself. I've done one test stream so far, and that's about it. I'm working off real world checklists, so some of it isn't irrelevant to the sim, but it's good practice anyway, to especially on a platform such as BA Virtual. I've literally just put in my application for Osprey Airlines, so I'm waiting still for that to come through to be authorised. Which is good. Actually, I could go up one more, I believe. Yeah, lovely. A nice easy climb out here. The aircraft's not struggling, everything is fine. So I'd love to show you the monitoring suite that we use at BA Virtual. It's called Merlin, BAV Merlin. However, if I go over there, press it, although it doesn't show you on the stream, my screen goes into an epileptic black flashy mode. Something to do with NVIDIA privacy, I believe, and I really don't like it, so I'm not going to do it. Did we take seatbelts off? So have a look, 70,000. Yeah. What feet per minute are we climbing? 2,000. No, we'll leave it for a little bit longer. We'll leave the seatbelts on just a little bit longer. That rate of climb drops a little bit more. Beautiful, beautiful day. I've got to say, coming out. I believe, looking out my window now, because I live north of Manchester there in the peaks. Looking outside, it looks like a nice day here as well, broken clouds, so it's going to be a nice approach for once into Gatwick. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a different streaming software, because since the recent NVIDIA update of 3.8 something, every time I turn my computer back on, I have to uninstall and reinstall GeForce Experience every single time, and you know what, it's doing my head in a little bit. So yeah, I'll probably look at something like OBS Studio. I'm happy on the star there, so we can get rid of the departure there. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, so I do apologise for the camera shit. And I'm going to go back, and we're going to go for route. Ooh, don't know what happened there. Oh, we're turning in the aircraft. So what I'd like to see though is different colour for this, you know. There's the route. Everything's looking okay. Just having a little turn to the left. Don't know what's going on with the climb here, but it's quite erratic. It's 22,000. Okay, I'm going to release the passengers now. They don't need to be on. They can come out. That's the final climb check anyway. It's looking good. I'm looking where at the minute we're at Marta. Is it Marta? Coming to Marta, so boom. Jump over to the FO. So look where we are here. So Marta's there. We'll just keep an eye on our legs because we'll be doing a fuel check around 39 minutes. Well, not in around, we will be. Yeah, happy days. Okay. That's the climb phase. Can't see any chats from anybody unless I'm looking at something wrong. So I'll have a look here. I'm just going to flick onto my YouTube for just a second on my other screen now. Actually, I'll do it on my tablet, so what I'm going to do is just leave this just taking my track eye off just so I can have a look at what's going on. Okay, so no chat so far that I can see, so any questions that come up I will answer during it. And yeah. So we're just having a sweep through now, checking everything, looking at the routes, which is good. Let's move that down. Move that down. That'll do me. I've got a good view there of the FRIs coming through. So we hit the French borders of airspace, then into Brest, then into London Control, and then into Gatwick, which is going to be awesome. Okay. So I've got no actual just going to check something out here. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Well, maybe I've done something wrong or something, because I'm not getting no chat pings through. Which is okay, actually. yeah. Play some music, maybe. So if anyone's watching, if they drop me a chat or a message to save my boredom, please feel free. Any questions about the Airbus A320 IAE, so the independent engines, or just about the Phoenix, please let me know. Please drop me a chat and we'll answer those questions for you. Now, I've noticed a few bugs since the latest update on the Phoenix, which I'm going to email the developer about, like the landing gear giving me a caution after positive rate, which is a bit strange. Unless there's something I need to do there, but I doubt that very much. Beautiful views here as we're hitting the Spain's main coast. Yeah, just waiting then for just waiting for anyone to drop me a message, or just even if you just want to say hi, you know, come say hi and we'll say hello to you and do what we need to do. Well, for now, I suppose just sit back, relax, enjoy the flight, see what the cabins are doing. There we are as we go past into the cabin there. Nice view there. Let's have a look on the other side. How are we? There is about a 5-second delay from what you are seeing to what I am seeing. Just to let you know, not 5 seconds, sorry, a bit less than 5 seconds. And I don't understand why, so yeah. Passengers just looking out the wings there, which is nice. Pretty awesome. Okay. Well, this is going to be a long flight on my own, if I'm honest. If nobody's going to be joining me. Spain's coastline down here, beautiful. Around this sort of area we've got Malaga, obviously Madrid, Barcelona are further up here. So yeah. So yeah, I don't really know what to say at the minute, except for yeah, until any chats come up or anybody joins us. Please let me know your thoughts. At the minute I've one viewer, but you're very welcome, but there's no chats from him or her or them or they, so we'll just wait and see. Okay, I'm going to leave you until we get some more people on board. I'm just going to leave you with this is my favourite view, I've got to be honest. I'll leave you with this favourite view, and well, I'll stop talking for now, and yeah. I just need to check one thing. I do apologise. So 30 minutes until our fuel checks. Anybody at all want to come and say hello? Okay, so yeah, I'll have a quick drink then. So I'll just knock the mic off at 2 minutes. I'll have a quick drink and I'll be here waiting if anyone wants to join the stream. It's my first one, guys, so bear with me. I am deciding to go to OBS, so things will be a lot better. Hopefully be able to get a key scheduled into YouTube as well and give it plenty of notice. But yeah, so enjoy the flight. So we're now at our cruising altitude, flight level 360 or 36,000 feet. Get your tray table out, grab yours out. Cruise is looking good, everything is looking good, and our next major event is in 30 minutes time, when we do the ECAP checks. Well, we monitor them anyway, but yeah. That's how it is. So here we are, flying back to the UK from Ibiza. Come say hi, drop me a message in the chat, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. It would help me massively, as I'm just come over from P3D, so I've had to do a lot of changes, which is why we've not had videos for a long time on this particular channel. Yeah, come say hi and drop me a chat, drop me a message, ask me questions. Honestly, I'm friendly, I won't bite, and I won't tolerate any nonsense of trolling or picking on anybody else in the chats either. Okay, well, I'll see you then. Yeah, okay guys, I think I might cut the stream in a few minutes because very disheartening, I've got no viewers. I was going through the proper procedures and also company checklists and still nothing. So for me, I'm pretty disheartened sat here. It's an epic fail. But yeah, I suppose it's good experience for myself. Maybe just to talk to myself. I don't know. Well, that's probably the first sign of madness. I don't really want to talk to myself. So, as well as BA Ops, we'll be doing Fly UK apps. So Speedbird, Skytrack, Skyways, and hopefully becoming part of Osprey's airline. So I'm just waiting for a decision. We're pending there. You have to have a rating, and I did really well actually. I got a rating of 9.5, which is pretty awesome. So at the minute we're heading. We're now in the Bordeaux FFR, and we're heading direct at 335 degrees towards a waypoint called Manock, Mike Alpha November Alpha Kilo. It's 180 miles, nautical miles from our position. So what am I doing now? Well, as any good pilot will be doing, I am monitoring my systems. So I'm looking at the engines, the cruise page, looking at the fuel on board, and we'll do a fuel check now after an hour. So I've got a post rep in 12 minutes. We're due at the next waypoint at 11:13, which is slightly over the hour, but that's where we'll have the fuel check at Manock. So we can prepare that by just shooting on over to the first officers. But there we are. So we're expected at least 5.5 tons of fuel, so 5,500 kilos. And we would have used 3.8. Now we took an extra 0.5, so realistically we should be at 6, around 6 here at Manock. So we're all set up and ready for that, which is fantastic. I don't like that view. I want to see, for me that is a much better view right there. So for me, I start my descent preparations 100 miles before the aerodrome, and we go through everything there, the preparation. So we look at the arrivals, we'll listen to ATIS normally, we set up the MCDU perf landing page, the approach briefing we do, and then we get our descent clearance. We descend, and we go through a checklist for descending to make sure we don't miss anything. And then we start looking at the approach side of the flight. We're coming on the Vazak 1 Golf into Gatwick, via Willow on the initial approach to runway 26 left. Now we're set up for the ILS 26 left, but if it's a nice day I might consider doing a full visual and using the ILS just as a guidance, but we'll see what the weather and wind's doing, because what I've noticed with the Fenix, and I don't like this in Microsoft Flight Simulator compared to Prepare 3D, in Prepare 3D I had the Aerosoft, had a fly-by-wire version of this aircraft, but with the Aerosoft it seemed a lot more stable in approach. Now whether that was not as realistic as the Fenix, I do not know, because I'm not an Airbus pilot, but I would assume that the models would be very similar. On this one it tries to balloon, even when you're following not only the glide path but also the PAPIS. So you've got the PAPIS, so the precision approach lights at the right or left side of the runway, or both sides depending on the airport. 2 white, 2 red means you're a glide slope, and with this aircraft in manual, even when you're trimmed for 2 white, 2 left, I've noticed it starts to balloon a little bit, and that to me, Fenix really need to look at, because it is a performance issue for me. Because on my A cars for British Airways Virtual, you judged on your landing. So although you've done everything right, as you'll see during this, so I was going to cancel my stream and I'm going to keep it going in case you look back on this video. As you see through my landing, I do everything correct. I flare the aircraft, I pitch the aircraft, and we get the right speeds, and we don't overflare the aircraft before the final stages of the approach, as you would do in real world. You know, although I'm not an Airbus pilot, you know, I will. I'm not going to tell you which, but my landings are nowhere near as shocking as they are using the Merlin software. But I'll notice with New Sky, it is correct for, and then the aircraft behaves similar, but still has that ballooning effect, which I can't get my head round. So if you know about that ballooning, about the Fenix and why, and if so, if it's supposed to do that compared to other models of the Airbus 320, please let me know. Pop up in the chat if you're joining us live. At the minute I've got no indication that anybody is viewing, but if you are viewing and I can't see you, drop it in the live chat. I will get a notification on my tablet, or leave it in the comments below if you're watching this video later. So if we look at the MCDU now, sorry, the navigational display, the NDU, right in front of me, you'll see in brackets coming up, we've got a point that's called ETP. This is the equal time point. So what this means is when we hit this point, we are at equal distance time from our destination airport to the airport we have just left. So at that point there, if we had an issue, a big issue, and these were the only two airports within the vicinity, anywhere between me, the aircraft position now, and the ETP point, I could quite happily turn around safely and get back to our airport we just left. However, once I cross that ETP, okay, that means I have to continue or find an alternate. Now, if there's only two airports and you cross that ETP, what's the best thing to do? Well, we reduce performance on the aircraft for a start, so we will maximise the performance and range of the fuel, including glide specs, if that was the case. And we'll do a lot of calculations to decide, okay, if we travel at this altitude, at this speed, we will get there with 80 miles of glide. Yeah, just as an example, I'm not going to do the math, but you get the gist. So the ETP is very important, and I do like the fact that the FedEx incorporates this into the visual of the aircraft, whereas Aerosoft never. But that realistic wind shear there, that I've got wind shear selected on the weather radar, you know, so a little bit of a downdraft or a little bit of turbulence. That's so unrealistic the way the aircraft moves there, but just little bugs for me. The FedEx though, to be fair, is, I think, still far better than any A320 we have for Microsoft Flight Simulator, although, before everybody jumps on the bandwagon in a comment below or in the chat, I have not tried the new V2 of the Inbuilt aircraft or the fly-by-wire recent aircraft. So I'm going to fly all of them, and I'm going to give my honest opinion on which one. At the minute, for me, the default aircrafts with the limited input on the MCDUs, for me that's a letdown from Azobo or any builds. They really need to concentrate on that SimRiff capability rather than just a flight plan through the simulator homepage, and you know, really enable some of them functions. But you know, we are going to get for free aircraft, it's absolutely fine. Now, I hope in this stream I was going to platform myself, and then I was going to tell you some of the military flights I'm going to do with experience, So I was going to show you some awesome stuff, how to get the best out of any aircraft. Yeah, so maybe I need to advertise it a little bit better, but I will do. And I'm going to look at different streaming software, because NVIDIA, for me, after the recent update, like I said earlier, keeps behaving weirdly. It's like, what's it called? You have to install it every single time the computer gets powered down, and it's very annoying, very, very annoying, because you have to go through the uninstall. But luckily this time I just uninstalled through the main control panel, and then I've kept the download of the latest version and reinstalled it, and I got it, so it's fine. But you know, I don't want to be doing that every single time I boot the computer. So if anybody out there knows what's going on with this NVIDIA latest update and why it's decided to do that now, or what could be causing it. I use a VAST 1, although it's allowed. I've allowed it through my firewall, obviously. It's NVIDIA. There's no restrictions on it as a program. If anyone knows any way of fixing this so I don't have to keep uninstalling and reinstall it, please put it in the comments below. I'll be forever grateful. Or pop up in the chat now and say hello. I could just be talking to myself. Brilliant. It might sound like I've got a cold. I have a little bit actually, but more of a headachy cold, so I do apologise. So what do we look like? What do we have to go through on the A320 for preparations? Well, we have to prep a lot of things for descent. Now, at 100 miles I start getting the aircraft ready. By that I mean I start looking through the arrival. I start looking at the descent prep, and I've just noticed something. I'm very naughty. Let me just jump on my... I've just noticed my TCAS should now be on all, so that was very naughty of me. So yes, so Manac will be our check, which is here. Like I said, we should have 6 tons of fuel, so hopefully we will. At the minute we're looking good at 6.1, and it's coming up around 70 miles time, so I wouldn't, well, it's going to be close, but depending how much we burnt on the takeoff. Where was I? Yeah, so we go through the arrival, we look at the weather, I look at the star, go through the Perth landing page, okay, but we don't do that until we're about, yeah, coming up to about 20 miles before descent, yeah, but we could do the preparation before that and look at the weather. In the Fenix is pretty good, so I do like the fact you've got the tablets check the weather in the Fenix, but you've also got the sim weather bar. Yeah, that's just as good. And if you're really are lazy, which I suggest you shouldn't be, but if you are lazy, as you're going through to local barrier, you could just press B on the cheat key. So if you're struggling with the workload or multitasking, some people do, that's absolutely fine. Not everybody can do it what everyone else can. I mean, I've never been able to land an aircraft at a lower rate per minute than 100 feet per minute, but in the real world you're on the ground safely, softly, it doesn't really matter. I think below that anyway, you're buttering it, and you've got being too light on the landing gear and not compressing enough for the systems to, so you've got to be, you know, careful, I suppose. In a simulator you can do what you like. Here we go, here's our post rep. What's he going to tell us today? TuneCom 2 to 129.6. Let's do that. Let's tune the radio to 129.6. Let's go over. Go on, and 129. decimal 6. And this shows the virtual airline we are sat at the aircraft. Just going to check that. 129.6, 129.6. Then I'm going to bring that over. Boom. And that is done. If I go to VH2 now, I could transmit on that. Ah, well, that should hold both. Oh no, I can hear VH2, I can't. So that's done, which is cool. And now we could do our, just going to stop that a minute, reset it, because we're going to do a fuel check at Manic. Now I can already see that we're going to be, how much the extra fuel we use, that's what. No, hold on, I didn't take an extra 500 tons. We were scheduled for 9.48, so we took an extra, say, 100 kilos. We should be at 5.6, sorry, at Manic. Well, bad math on my part. Yeah, so we're good. Weather radar's on. Doesn't seem to work. TCAS is to all. We're in cruise, which is correct. Aircraft is still fine. No problems. Well, let's double check there's no problems in the aircraft. Let's put a system on and let's do a recall. Everything's normal and nominal with the aircraft, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty disheartening though that nobody's joined me in the stream, like I said. But you know, all worse things in life. But the route's looking okay. So what I'm going to do, in actual fact, is stop talking now and wait for anybody to comment later on in the video, and I'll get back to you. Or I'll wait for any viewers to pop up, I suppose. For me, SU-15 hasn't really made a huge difference to the simulator. In fact, I'm getting some little bugs with different aircrafts I wouldn't have had normally, which is, I don't know. So, yeah, please come along, watch the video. If you're watching this video later, please like and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get the upcoming stream. I'm going to do one tomorrow, but I'm going to give plenty of notice on the stream, and I'm going to download a different software and see if it's the way I'm streaming that's the issue, or yeah, I might just be broadcasted to my YouTube channel, but it's not actually advertising. So I'm going to try a different platform and see how that goes. And I'm going to do it with Beyond ATC, and we're going to go through a flight using one of my favourite aircrafts. So it is a civilian, a jet, but it's one of my favourite aircrafts to fly because it's fun. But yeah, we'll see that tomorrow. Ugh. For now, I'm looking at the Manic there. We're at, I need the brightness up a little bit more. So Manic's coming in at 29 miles. We'll do a fuel check at 29. But yeah, it is lonely streaming to myself, I suppose. Yeah, I was hoping to show people you don't need to be scared of flying for a virtual airline or anything similar, like on VATSIM. I'm going to do a few VATSIM flights stream, so we'll see. So I've done a fuel check at an hour, 60 minutes, right? And we was at 6 tons. Now, I'm estimating what I read now at Manic to where we should have been at sorry, I forgot the dogs were out, just come past me and freak me out. So I'll do a calculation to see what we should have been at that point, roughly. So yeah, coming into Manic now. As you can see on the other FO side, everything's good. If you're watching this from BA Virtual, why am I sat in the left seat over the right seat? As I am a I believe a senior, and no, first officer. I'm an FO myself in British Airways. Well, that's because I don't like the right seat. I have a problem with one of my eyes, and it's very difficult for me to judge on the left. And if I go on that side, I'm going to have to change my controller's joystick around all the time, and to be honest, I can't be bothered. So, and also I am a captain, and also other virtual airlines I'm a senior captain, so this is why I sit this side. I joined BA Virtual not long ago, to be fair, so you've got to build up your rank structure. To be fair, I don't like the way they do their rank structure, but that's what it is. They also, I believe, need to get with the times and leave the Merlin software alone, and maybe go on to Blue Sky like everybody else is doing. It's just my opinion. So we're less than 10 miles now. So the 5 mile point, I'll go check, and well, we know we should be at it says 5.5, so 5.6, so I'll just watch the fuel on board there, and as that changes to the next waypoint, I will take the fuel and know roughly how we're doing. Now, although I did in the briefing, and when you book the flight on the website, I asked for an extra ton of fuel, but I generated the OFP with that extra ton of fuel, so the fuel readings include that. But when I get to the aircraft, okay, I rounded it up from 9.4 blah 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 to 9.5, and we're passing over Manic now actually, so we're at 5.72, so 5.7, yeah, we're good. We're where we should be. We've used no more, no less than our fuel. We've still got, that means to me at this point, I'll just put my stopwatch back on. That means for me at this point, I know I've got a ton of fuel to play around with. So let's go through the ECAMs screens. So looking at the engine page here, we're looking all the way through. Okay, so we've got the rear turbines, which are good, the vibration, which is excellent. There's nothing to worry about there with the vibrations. Temperatures, the pressures, and the oil temperature in here. Fuel that we've already used, we've got 1818s, 218s are, well, 219s are 38, so we've used 3.8 tons of fuel, which actually, if we look at the sheet, is about right with Manic anyway, so that's pretty cool. And we look at the top part of the engine, so this, these are the rear, these are the front parameters, if you like. So the engine percentage rate up here is ideal. There's no massive discrepancy within the two engines. Since we've got a climb on 1.4, that's a pressure differential sensor. The fuel flow is good, as you can see here. We've got a replica of the bottom readings up here. Engine temperature overall is 384, which is dead center, which is where you want it to be, and the front turbine fans there are exactly where you'd expect them to be when the rear's compression is hardly nothing. So obviously it's compressing the air coming through for the combustion of the engines. That is excellent. Bleeds, so look at the bleed system now. Both engine bleed valves are open, so 200 degrees, 40 psi coming down into here, into basically your heat exchanger, if you like. So you got a high and low pressure switch, comes through at 95 and leaves at 20 for the cabin. The ram air is also fed off that system. Pressurization is in auto mode, but we've got low elevation at the minute. We're at 0 VSI. Cabin altitude is held at 7,250 feet, so well below the 10,000 feet, and it gives us an absolute pressure of 7.9 psi to put through the cabin pressure to keep that altitude. The safety vents closed, and the inlet and outlets are both closed. Now when we do this manually, you can monitor this page and open these to relieve or increase the pressure. Electrical system, so you've got the DC side, which is the top, which is your batteries. So DC is direct current, so that is drawn straight from the batteries, and the AC is alternate current, which is supplied from generators. And everything looks absolutely fine on the electrical side. So the AC, so engine 1, if you like, generator 1 provides power to the AC essential bar, and it also provides power to the DC essential bar and the DC batteries. Yeah. Engine 2 just helps with the load but runs its independence. Hydraulics, green, blue and yellow system on the Airbus, 3 independent systems. So we're looking at the pressures, which are all good. We're looking at the levels, which are nominal, and we're making sure all the valves and pumps are open, which they are. Our fuel page, check we're balanced. We are balanced, 700 in the outer tanks and 2.1 in both the inner wing tanks, which is what I'd be expected. Gives us 5.56 of fuel on board, which we know now is plenty. Obviously the APU page won't be showing anything because it's not on. Equally, this is the air condition page. So as you saw from the bleed page, so this heat exchanger here that comes through to these 3 arrows is 20 degrees. If you come down here to the conditioning page, that valve opens up there, and as you can see, it hits through and we regulate the temperature of the cabin to what the bleed. So the bleed system is very important to obviously the pressurization and comfort of the passengers. Door page, we're all armed on the slides. Wheel page, you won't have any readings, just the pressures of the tyres, temperatures on some of them. It should be between 150 and 300 psi, which is good. Flight controls, we're at 2.1 degree pitch up at the minute. The aircraft's managing everything fine. Then we look back through the system, do a quick recall. Everything's normal, and then we get the cruise page back on. So we have a breakdown of everything: the fuels, the conditioning, our altitude pressures, our elevation, the cabin altitude, our gross weight, the times, the temperatures outside. So you got the different sensors where they're sat. So tail air temperature is minus 24 degrees. Saturated air temperatures, that's took off all the pros minus 51, so that's your true reading, and your ISA, so that's plus 6 degrees. So you can use that figure also to help with landing calculations. And then you have the normal display where your messages come up and such and such. Now, a lot of information there. That's just one check. That's just one check on the system that we do every 60 minutes in flight. And the next place I want to check fuel will be if it's after the hour or before the hour. Ideally, I want to check it at odd rep, which is the boundary between the Brest and the London controllers. So, with that said, let's jump across. Look at where we are now. So odd rep is this waypoint. Just here if I zoomed in, okay. Yes, you've got, okay, doesn't say odd rep, but if I zoomed in, there is a point right there that says odd rep. And obviously that is literally just before the start of the star at Vazux, which is around here opposite Cafe. I think it's that one there with Vazux. So that's the start of a star into Gatwick. So, with that said, I find it in my flight plan now. Odd rep, there we are. Oh, look at that. 4.2, and it's just before our top of descent. That's sim brief calculated. Not exactly, perhaps, what we calculated. Bit of a altitude fluctuation there with a bit of a wind change. So whenever you hear the out siren go, warning siren, you want to come back to your default view and check your autopilot, check your auto throttle, check your flight directors, because it can knock it off, and be ready to fly the aircraft. Always stay ahead of the aircraft. That is my tip to use. We've got top of descent, hockey stick coming in, about 160 miles. So I keep it on 80, and as soon as we hit that top range of 80, we'll start doing the cruise preparations. Sorry, descent preparations. And that's what we'll start doing. So, like I said, drop us a comment, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel. I am going to get different streaming software, like I said, and for now, we're going to monitor the aircraft because I've got no chats to answer. As far as I'm aware, there's no viewers to talk to, and we're in the cruise phase, so I would generally normally be talking to my counterpart, my colleague, and talking about what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. So, with that said, we have another post rep with BA in 43 minutes. And to be fair, I'll probably do a fuel check then. Like I said, we're aiming for odd rep. That's Oscar Delta Romeo Echo Papa on the Brest and London boundary FFR. It's a little way off, so hopefully our top of descent is, as it says, after that. But if not, we'll do a fuel check to the closest top of descent point. Okay then, well, I'm going to isolate my microphone so I can do what any good pilot does in this situation where we've got no comments, chats or viewers. I'm going to place a Dooku whilst monitoring the aircraft systems. So I'll catch you soon. Okay, so we're going to set now for our descent preparation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the weather in at the minute in Gatwick. The easiest way I'm going to do that is just shoot across the wide, go to my little birdie, go to my flights, go to the meta, look at the arrival, but I'm going to refresh the arrival. Winds variable by 2 knots, scattered, cloud 4,700 feet, temperature's 18.7, QNH 107. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this information, and this information into my MCDU, and I'll monitor that during the descent. So if I get to the next phase, remembering those figures, so we had QNH of 1017, so let's put that in there. The temperature was a pleasant 18 degrees, and the wind was variable, so 0 by 2 is what we're going to put in there. That gives us an approach of 139, and the radio will be 100 for Gatwick, so that goes in there. So that's done. We've still got 46 miles to descend, so we will do the preparation. Basically the approach briefing and our descent clearance. Well, now actually, looking at it, so, oops, wrong way, my apologies. So, let's go back to our descent and preparation. So, approach, arrival procedures, the VASIC will golf, so let's look at that. So as you can see through VASIC, we're going to come up through VASIC here. It's 39 degrees through to DISVO, and the first constraint we have to be at flight level 130, 13,000 feet at a speed of no greater than 250 knots by TEL2. From TEL2 we take a 79 degree course outbound to Holly, where we can only be at 220 knots, and then we go into Willow. From Willow then we exit. So basically we'll do a little loop like this, get to May, and then we'll join the approach from May. At May we want to be at 4,000, and on the way round to the runway we drop to 3,000 through to the arrival, which sorry, let's go with the approach, which is 26 left. Why are we on Stansted? We're on the alternate there. So the approach, ILS 26 left. So we look at this approach, and I'll keep this chart on here now, to be fair. So 26 left, as we're coming from Willow, like I said, we have to be 4,000 mandatory at May, which is a VOR 117.9. So we'll look at that radial there, and I'll put the VOR on the ND display. From there then we're taking a 267 outbound from May for about, well, 8.5 miles, descended down to 2,000. We need to be mandatory 2,000 for 8.5 from May. So at the end of that 8.5 miles we need to be at 2,000 for 4, so drop 2,000 feet in 8 miles. From there's a left sweeping turn onto the heading of 257 for the final final approach fix, which is the FAP, and the glide slope fix here, which is the FF final fix. As you can see there, it's only 5.5 to glide down, so that's the initial approach. And if we look at the final approach, which is this one, the final approach there, as we can see, for the final fix, 26 left, 2,000, it's a 3 degree glide and going down. So at 2,000 feet we want to be at 140 round knots, so we're looking around 743 feet per second per minute. So if you take your speed divided by 2, if you don't have a onboard calculator, that will give you a rough, and then you can go visual with a PAPIS. For initial approach, see the other chart, which we have done. So I can now look at my runway. 26 left. Yes, we're dry. I'm going to refresh the beta. I'm going to apply the beta on there, just for now. Our landing weight will come back to. We're going to go medium auto brake with idle, no reverse. So by doing that, I come back over to here. Estimated fuel on board is 3.9 tons, and our gross weight at the minute is 65.4, so 3.9 off there would be 61.5 at the minute. So we can then go back to our tablet. So if we just, I need to assign this really at the key. 69.5 would be our landing weight. But at the minute that's showed us that, and we're going to land about there. So let's put in a max reverse, flat full, auto throttle on. Variable. We say we're going to a tailwind there, so we shouldn't be having a tailwind. So if that's the case, we're landing at 8 right. So we'll keep an eye on this wind. If this changes or stays the check, if this wind direction stays the same, then we'll select 8 right for the opposite approach. And from that, you can, if that happens, from 8 right. So let me just star this one. Approach chart, which one am I on? 21.2 alpha. So I'm just going to place that as a favourite. If we look at the 8 right initial approach from May, or from Willow, we could change it from Willow, so we have to decide before Willow, and we'll come straight through there. So we'll go to that initial approach, and then the final approach will be on a course of 77 degrees with that headwind. So I'm going to star them. We go back to that one because that's what we're because that's what we need to decide. I need to decide here whether we're going 8 right or 26 left. So we'll keep an eye on that during the flights. I'm actually going to keep it on that page, so oops. And I've talked through it, I believe. Yeah, we're going to have to descend pretty fast here. It's my own fault, so let's do that. $2,007, we're going out too straight there, but the aircraft is going to manage it for us, so that's not too bad. Straight back on. Back to 80 there to see the flight path. And of course we need to go to below for our TCAS. Everything else can stay as is for now. Auto brake, I said we'll have immediate, so it's going to be quite a steepish descent, but not too bad, so I'll keep an eye on it. Okay, so all we're doing now is descending, so we'll get back to you with the weather and the approach before Willow. Okay, I'm back. Now I'll be back for the duration. So we're just going to run through our descent checks. So our TCAS is below, set below and verified. Anti-ice, we're in auto. There's no heavy cloud. The temperature's good, so I'm going to keep it in auto for this descent. MCDU prefer. Perf page is descent, so the MCDU, we are on the descent page. First officers on the legs page. Nav aids, I've reviewed them all, we're good. And then we've just got the below 10,000 checks to go after that. We're at 24,000 now, aiming for 13,000 as a constraint, which we will hit. Everything else is good and where it should be, except for you need to go away, and you can go away. We just left Buck2 at 4.55. So I'll bring that up in my OFP. So Buck2. Go. So I missed odd rep, but got to there 4.5, so we're actually really good at our fuel, which is excellent. Got the transition in there, which is what I want for the initial approach. Transaltitude is 6,000. We've already done the approach briefing earlier on. Do I need that 15 minutes? No, we can just jump over to the first officer's side. I'm not using two separate ATCs like Beyond and Vaxim, so that can stay over there. Auto brake medium is set, so apart from the below 10,000 checks, we will be then looking at the auto brake approach checks and approach checklist. So I'm working off my checklist, so if anyone wants a copy of that, again, put it in the comments below and we'll sort you out. I just need to clear you off. So we're now at Vazak, which is the start of the star. We just went past Vazak, so now I want to go ahead and check the correct weather. So meta, I want to check here. Let's refreshing them there. Variable at 4 knots, QNH 1717, temperature 19 degrees. So we've still got that variability. Just quickly look at the perf page. So I'm just going to change the temperatures there. 19. So that. And we're still variable at 4, so let's just put that in. I used to be able to do that. There we go. Variable at 4. Still got roughly the same, and the go round. Flaps retract at 150, slats at 2, so clean aircraft at 210. We'll remember that. So the minute is still QNH 1017, which is good. So I'm just going to recheck my landing performance. I'm going to refresh the meta on there. Apply the new meta. There's no change in there at all. That's fine. Yeah, there's no change. Keep an eye on the altitude at 17,000 feet. First restriction then coming up, so seatbelts could now go on. Seatbelt times. Times passengers seated. We'll make a note of that. Apologies. Going into that transition, we've got to start making a decision. Variable wind could be a tail, it could be a headwind, so we've got to...
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrests down and window blinds open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers or magazines that you do not want to keep. The toilets are no longer in service.
I might
Thank
put in
you.
a hold at Willow, because I really don't want to be landing with a tailwind. But 4 knots. So 140 minus 4 is 136 you really want to approach at. And our approach speed in managed was... oh, 133, 134, so we could keep it exactly that way. Actually we might do that anyway. Coming into that London. We're definitely on the arrival, so what do I do at Willow? So what basically with this arrival we come in and we actually go in a circle, a left sweeping turn around Willow and back out. So I could put a hold at Willow, because you can hold at Willow. I'm wondering to make a hold just for a local weather check, because obviously a tailwind, if we could get a headwind on 8 right, that'll be better. Short, no. What to do, what to do, what to do. We need to be, according to this, we need to be down to 220 knots, and like I thought, the aircraft isn't managing that speed particularly well, so I'm going to give us some speed brake, and I'm going to take control of the aircraft and bring that down to 220 knots. Still keeping a decent rate of descent there. As soon as we catch up with the VNAV, I will take obviously the speed brakes out. Now we're in managed mode, I can also put my LS on and I'm going to activate the approach mode. $10,000, let's put the landing lights on, and the wing lights can go on and cabin can be informed. cabin informed, and that can come out and they can be armed. We know the Barrow is QNH1017. We can also hopefully get the Microsoft Flight Simulator weather to give us a verification of that. Well, apparently not, so okay. Approaching Willow, so holding over Willow, minimum flight altitude is 7,000. Okay, we'll continue as briefed actually for the approach. We'll continue to 26 left. As that is also the current runway in use on VATSIM. Landing 26 left, departing 26 right. No doubt. So, our descent preparation is done, and now we know the Barrow as well. I can go ahead and we can put the Barrows off standard pressure. We'll cross check in a minute. Okay, so QNH1017 set once, twice, 3 times. Passes 75 now. Checked. Speed's creeping up again, so let's bring out the speed brake. You could check on your flight controls that the speed brake has deployed.
Cabin crew must now be seated for landing. Thank you.
System recall, all nominal. Speed brake stowed. We're going to enter this teardrop and come out as prescribed towards May. We're looking at that initial approach. I'm now looking on my tablet at the side of me as I want to keep checking the METAR going in, just to make you all aware. So I'll be flitting between 2 tablets. So we can actually get the VATSIM Diatus on the VATSIM network. Going information Juliet time, runway use 26 left, transition 7. Surface wind variable 2 knots, technical more scattered 4,700 feet. Temperature 18, you put QNH1017 knowledge receptive information Juliet. That's fine, and actually we can check QNH101719 actually, so we are good. Oh, it's a bit zoomed in. Once leaving Willow, we're going to go flaps 1 speed. So coming round now, Gatwick is off to our nose. So Gatwick is over here. Can't really make that out yet, but trust me, it's there. Now, in real world, we wouldn't be entering this teardrop. We would have got vectors at this point. But as we're following our plan, we'll follow it to the letter. We don't want to get penalised. 220 is good. So our barrel set, engine mode selector again. Yeah, I'm going to leave it in continuous ignition. So approach checklist then. Barrel reference set, all three. Seatbelts are on. MDA is set 100 radar. Auto brake is at medium and engine mode selector is in ignition start. Approach checklist is complete. Just having a drink. Yes, because we've got May, we can look at the VOR here. We can see May's VOR, and this is the inbound track we want for it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful day in the UK. Okay, you can also come down to 10. A little bit of a bump coming around here, that's okay. That's why I haven't changed the speeds. So the initial approach procedure is designed actually for speeds only up to 240 knots. So you always have to make sure you follow A, the star, then B, either the IAP or the approach AP to the letter, because if you deviate from that you're going to have troubles maintaining the aircraft. And then you have to use judgment as a pilot is to say, okay, well in actual fact, no, I need to like now we're getting bumped around a bit because we've got a variable wind. Seatbelts are on and that's fine. We've got a crosswind there gusting from around 9 to 18. Coming straight across and up, so it'll die down in a minute when we straighten up. And as I'm going to do that, I'm going to go into what's called, yeah, I'm going to go to manage speed. Now because I've selected the approach mode, because I've selected the approach mode in manage speed, I'll slow the aircraft down until I select flaps 1, and it'll stay at flaps 1 speed until I go further. Normally it's best to stay at flaps 1 until you're 15 miles out from the field, which we're hovering around now. The trick is not to give the aircraft too much to do. Okay. It's that crosswind, it'll soon convert to tailwind, so fine. So there we go. So on this turn I'm going to select manage speed, so I'm going to give the computer back control of the aircraft. The reason, like I said, I'm doing that is we don't want to overwork the aircraft. Remember, we're coming through to May now, so I want to be at a decent speed to still be able to slow the aircraft down sufficiently, even including a descent. So I'm allowing the computer to configure the speeds I'm giving it early. I'm not deploying flap just yet, but I am watching the red speed tape and I'm watching the VOR needle to May. Yeah. I'm looking at the radial. We should start straightening up now. some reason it's automatically tuned VOR away from May to mid first. So actually that VOR now is useless. You can adjust that back, but as the instrumentation is okay, I'm not going to bother, so don't need that. If need be, I would set it for the standby instrumentation down here anyway. Okay, so May's here. So I'm going to select now flaps 1. Just check my ground spoilers are armed. And I'm going to select flaps 1. As we come into the May VOR. On outbound of May VOR, I'm going to select flaps 2, and we're going to reduce the speed to 160 knots because of that tailwind. If it says it's a headwind, obviously we can reassess the situation. But for now, sorry, not go. Yeah, reduce it to 160 and then go flaps 2. Sorry. 2 seconds, I've got a cough coming. Okay, I'm back. I had to clear my throat. I need some new headphones. So now we're leaving May, and we're going to stick to the plan I just prescribed. So, given the fact that we're going to be descending also, as we can start seeing by the needle here, I'm going to take back control of the speed. I want it at 160 knots after the descent, so I'm not bothered as long as we don't break the flap 1 curfew. I'm just trying to protect us from this tailwind we're going to have coming into the approach, that's all. So I'll keep the throttles at idle. I could use some speed brake here, but I can also bring in the next stage of flaps. So I'm now happy with the initial approach. I'm going to now switch my approach plate on my tablet to my left to the final approach for the missed approach. Still variable, no change in the meta, so we're happy with that. I'm struggling to get it down, so I am going to deploy that next stage of flaps to flaps 2 to put a little bit of drag on the aircraft, as you can see now. And we'll stay up until we come up for the glide slope. Post rope's been inhibited, which is good. Okay, we're coming up to the final approach. You notice I ain't arming the approach just yet. That's because we're not stabilised. We are below the guide path, which is good. Once we're stabilised at 2000, I will initiate the approach on the turn. That tailwind's really kicking us up, and that's why I wanted to reduce speed a little bit earlier. Although I've asked for 160, we're maintaining that 180, which is more realistic approach speed. So there's a method. Okay, so I am going to go to the approach mode. Hit 2,000 feet now. We're going to arm the approach to flaps 2. We're turning in towards a runway. We've got permission to land, so I'm going to put the gear down for some more drag on the aircraft. I'm going to maintain that 160. We're at 11.9, so I don't want to go too slow. We're locked on the localizer also. So if you wanted to, you know, you could go to your ILS and capture the needle coming across. wind is now a crosswind. It's definitely variable, but it's not 4 knots as advertised. Oh, maybe I will drop it now. Maybe it is. Lining up. 10 miles out, flaps 3. Bit more drag. I have the runway as a visual. About 8 miles off, so remember the glide slope starts roughly, well, at 5.5 nautical miles, not roughly. So at this point we could put our lights on. I'm also going to start the APU. 1, 2, 3. See the runway? We're on the move. So flaps are now full, and I'm going to give the aircraft speed control back to deal with what we need to deal with. Landing no blue. Go around altitude once we hit the glide slope. We're not quite. Oh yeah, we have caught the glide slope. Is 3,000. A little bit of a bumpy approach here. I am a bit concerned about that wind. We are getting bumped around a little bit. Not massively, but a little bit. Okay, so now I can set my go around altitude to 3,000 feet. Cabin crew is advised we are landing, and landing no blue. We are ready for landing. The missed approach is climb to 3,000 straight ahead, passing 2,000 feet, and then we're going to turn left to heading 178 and as directed. So it's a left turn 178 at 2,000 feet. Double check some on my screen. We're stable. Let's bring in our pilot 2. Dual for that 100 feet barrow. And I'm aiming for Foxtrot Romeo departure on the runway. We'll see. A decent landing here, that'd be nice. Quite aggressive. My flight director off.
300.
Your flight director could come off. Yes, yes, yes.
100 above.
My aircraft.
Minimum
Continue.
50. 30. 20. Retard.
That was an awful landing. Spoilers, reversers are deployed. And normal.
Ladies and gentlemen, The cabin crew will shortly
Well,
be
the braking
leaving their
is
seats
off.
to perform
Weather radar can
safety-related
come
duties.
off.
However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off.
Gas.
Portable electronic devices for messaging,
Come
calls, or internet access may now be used. Please make sure you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care opening the
and
overhead
lights will go
lockers
off,
as
and
items
lights
may
will
have
go
moved
off.
during flight. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On
And
behalf
cross
of the
the,
captain and the crew,
runway up
it has
ahead.
been our pleasure looking after you
I'm
today.
going to go for the Golf
Our
one.
ground crew will help you complete your journey.
I'll be interested to see what that landing rate was. Yes, you could stop now. We're not flying anymore. I'm going to head down to the south terminal. So South Terminal we're headed down to, so we're going to have a look at the Pakistan chart on the way down. And let's select GSX. A bit quick, let's slow down a little bit. I'm going to select GSX. Gate. So we want next page. Next page, next page, next page, next page, next page. Huh. Doesn't show. Whoa, doesn't show the south terminal here. Hold on, I don't know what's going on with my rudders. 2 seconds, I just need to stop the aircraft. Wants us to go to gate 66. Where the hell's gate 66? That's not even in the south terminal. Well, I'll pick a gate and I'll offload there. It'll probably be the easiest solution there. Crossing the speed here, but idle, it's kicking off. So everything is away, everything is fine, that can now come off. All good there, clear the warning. Crack lights are on. My turn off lights can actually go off now as well. Don't need that one. I'm gonna remember this is the default Gatwick, I believe, so we're gonna go up November to Juliet. This one is Romeo, I believe. Yep. So British Airways coming on the south terminal. Apparently we're on mic. We should be on Juliet. We are on Juliet. Going plus Juliet, entry to Charlie. So Not the next left after that. And there's the self-terminal ahead. Bit of a long landing there, but bit of a bumpy wind, so I'm not too bothered about that, if I'm honest. So we've got the signs here for Popper, but we want to go up November. So we're just going to carry on to November. November, we're going up NA now, past NA, then we're going to take a right. Got some jetways here. Wow, look at that one, that's amazing. Don't know what's going on there. I'm going to come around onto Kilo. And hopefully find a vacant spot. So, I don't know where I'm going, so I'm going to flick back to my parking stands. Sorry about the jolt on the head tracker. Right, we'll go in there. So, we're looking there for the first one after the turn, so gate, that's 25, so we'll look at 23. Let's see if GSX will give us that option now. Nope, so we'll just go in here anyway. Like so. Taxi light could come off. And what I'll do, before I ask for GSX, I'm going to see what parking spot we're at. Put the brakes on there. And let's see where we're actually at. So,
You need to
GSX.
start the engines to request ground services.
I'm not asking for ground
You
services.
need to start the engines to request ground
Okay.
services.
Well, let's just do that anyway. Engines off, APU's on anyway. Fuel pumps are off.
Cabin
Beacon
crew
light go
disarm
off.
doors.
The boarding requested.
Okay, so it's automatically found. I'd just like to know where we are, so. Okay. Passengers will be getting off, so what we can do now is shut down as we would. So crew supply could go off, could go back to normal, that could go off, they can go off, fuel pumps are already off, auxiliary power is on, so that could come off, emergency exits could come off, integers can go, not required.
Passengers deboarding starting.
And as that is the end of the flight. Well,
Ladies and
for those of you
When
who did
disembarking,
join,
please
that I
take
didn't
care
see,
and hold
I
on to the
apologise and I
handrails
thank
while
you
walking down the
in
stairs.
advance.
Please
For
ensure
those
that
of
you
you
supervise your children, and for your own safety,
who are watching
do
this
not
after,
walk underneath
again,
the
thank you
wing.
very much. And look forward to welcoming you on board again in the future. So we are done. Brake fan can go off. And we are ready for shutdown and secure. So bleed can go off now. Battery 1, battery 2 could go off. Nav lights could go off. External power could go off. Should shut us down when the batteries die. Let's see what this. Okay, so I'm going to stop my head tracker there. I'm going to pop outside. Here we are. Lovely camp. Yeah, well, thank you for those who joined us, and hope to see you again very soon, so thank you very much.